New language and amends the enacting the final whereas clauses.
Mr. Onishi, there's a pending motion, so Mr. Onishi, you may have the floor.
Okay, thank you very much. At this time, Mr. Chair, I would like to amend Resolution 52-13 with the communication of 115.1.
Seconded by Mr. Kanuha. Go ahead, Mr.
Okay,
Onishi.
thank you, Mr. Chair. After postponing, what we found out was that the resolution doesn't go to the legislature. What was happening was the legislature was sending this, their result to the Department of Transportation. The Department of Transportation is in charge of naming the roads. Okay, so that's why on the heading had to be changed, where resolution urging the legislature was changed to the Department of Transportation. And in a new clause where upon the completion of realignment of Sutter Road, the Department of Transportation will have sole jurisdiction over the highway. Then on the 8th clause, we're taking out the naming of the Sutter Road, Senate Bill Senate Bill number 50 would rename the Sutter Road and putting in the new one where Hawaii State Resolution number 21. The Hawaii State concurrent to Resolution 43, the House concurrent to Resolution 42 requests the Department of Transportation to do the renaming. Okay, and then on the back, instead of for the final resolve, usually we name all our legislature guys in there. So this we have to take out because it's not going to them, but it's going to the Department of Transportation Director, Glenn M. Okimoto. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Onishi. Go ahead.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Any comments on the amendments? Ms. Ford.
Thank you. I'm going to support the amendment. Just as a comment to the council members, the reason Mr. Onishi can change the header, which we normally don't do, is because this is a resolution. If it was a bill, we couldn't change the header. So I just want to make that comment for the public's benefit, because some of them know our rules probably better than we do. I'll support this. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ford. Any, Mr. Ilagan?
Thank you, Chair. May I speak to Councilmember Onishi?
You can address Mr. Onishi. Go ahead.
I was just wondering if you would entertain a verbal amendment to just, instead of the Daniel K. Inouye Legacy Highway, it would be just the Daniel K. Inouye Highway.
Point of order, not on the amendment.
No, but you need to understand, we're supporting the Senate and the
Okay.
House's resolutions. So this is just in support of them. So they're the ones are proposing this to the State Department.
So you're saying...
So it's
they-
not us.
Right. I'm just saying that's what they want the name to be.
Correct. That's
the
what
name.
the Senate bill and the House bill is.
Okay,
That's how
so
they
whatever
name it.
name they have, that's pretty much what
Yeah.
is going to happen.
Yes,
Okay.
it's not
Just wanted
us. Yeah, it's not the Hawaii County sending a resol to the Department of Transportation
support.
naming that. Yes, I'm just supporting the Senate and the House bill.
Sounds
Point
good.
of order,
Thank you.
this isn't about the amendment.
Yes.
This is,
Yeah, we're on the amendment.
Yeah.
okay, but in terms of the name, he's not trying to change the name.
Okay, hold on. Oh, so one person at a time. So, Mr. Onishi, you...
I'm finished. Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Willie,
Does
did you have a question?
I just felt that this, I appreciate what Councilmember Iligan is saying, but I just think that it doesn't go to the amendment, whether we have Department of Transportation or the State of Hawaii issue. It goes to the main motion on the resolution, so.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Willie, for pointing that out. Yeah, I believe you're correct. I think he was asking a hypothetical question. That's why I granted leeway, but you're correct. Okay. Any other comments on the amendment? If not, Mr. Clerk, on the amendment.
This is the amendment to Communication 115.1. Ms. Eoff,
Aye.
Ms. Ford,
Aye.
Mr. Iligan,
Aye.
Mr. Kanuha,
Aye.
Mr. Kern,
Aye.
Mr. Onishi, Ms. Poindexter,
Aye.
Ms. Willie,
Aye.
Chair Yoshimoto.
Aye.
Chair Yoshimoto, you have 9 ayes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The amendment, as noted in Communication 115.1, is approved. Mr. Onishi, we're back on the main motion.
Thank
Anything
you,
else?
Mr. Chair. I just wanted to make council members aware that, I guess at our last meeting, it was brought up, all roads supposed to be, named in Hawaiian, but at the state level, there's no mandate. Okay, and I don't know if maybe Ryan Kanakaole is here today, or he is, okay. Very good. Thanks, Ryan. Thank you you can come up forward and introduce yourself. So hopefully everybody had gotten his email. You guys didn't get it?
Yep.
Okay. You can introduce yourself.
Hi, Ryan Kanakaole, Deputy Corporation Counsel.
So he did send it to me, but he CC'd all you folks, to all the council members. Okay. And maybe, Ryan, you can kind of a little bit explain in that third paragraph about the state level, about the...
Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't have a copy with me right now, but from...
Because there were some questions about... Yeah.
The only mandates that I've found requiring language, Hawaiian language, to be for the naming of roads was at the county level. At the state level, there is none. These amendments were created after the 78 CONCON, kind of during the, I guess, Hawaiian language revival time, and a lot of the counties adopted that policy, but the state itself didn't. Regarding state highway naming, DOT has sole discretion over the matter. Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan. Okay.
Mr. Nishi, before we go forward,
Yes.
staff is telling me because of our council rules requiring holdover when you have a substantial amendment, we would need to suspend the rule to further discuss this matter today.
So, Mr. Chair, at this time, I would like to suspend the rules.
Second.
Okay, for the purpose of eliminating
Or
the holdover rule.
And then
Okay.
also for the 5 days holdover.
I think the staff wants us to do that after we vote on the...
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you. I yield.
So the motion is to suspend the rules for the purpose of continuing the discussion. We need a vote on that. Any discussion on the motion to suspend? If not, Mr. Clerk, we need to take a roll call vote.
Ms. Eoff,
Aye.
Ms. Ford,
Aye.
Mr. Iligan,
Aye.
Mr. Kanuha,
Aye.
Mr. Kern,
Aye.
Mr. Onishi, Ms. Poindexter,
Aye.
Ms. Willie,
Aye.
Chair Yoshimoto.
Aye.
Chair Yoshimoto, you have 9 ayes on suspending the rules.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. So motion passes. Ms. Willie,
On the main
on the main motion.
motion, can I get Carrie Marks to come up front?
Thanks, Ryan.
Excuse me.
He can stay, yeah. Okay. Carrie, can you just explain, like, you're talking about your house would be on this road where it would be renamed? So you're coming up, I mean, I was thinking whether it's Saddle Road or,
Kalmana and where it
yeah,
ends.
whatever, that this name really wouldn't apply until you were on sort of where you're not in a residential area, but that's
Sure,
not
and thanks for asking me. I meant to go a little further on that, but I live in Kalmana City subdivision, which is the last bit of civilization as you head up over the saddle towards Kona. When I was here to visit Hawaii and fell in love with the island, we were totally taken with Saddle Road, but we couldn't drive up there because we had a rental car and we weren't allowed. So when we moved here and ultimately bought a house that was off of Saddle Road, I mean, we were thrilled. We thought it was so cool to live off of Saddle Road. So yes, as you go up Waianui or Kalmana and they meet and they become the saddle, the street sign where you turn on Nolemana Road, it's Saddle Road right there. It's not Kalmana and it's not Poinico Extension and it's not Waianui, it's Saddle Road. So that street sign will have to be changed to say Nolemana this way and the Daniel K. Inouye Legacy Highway this way. And like I was saying, we all call it Saddle Road. We're going to continue to call it Saddle Road, so it's kind of silly.
right. I mean, I kept wondering why they're sticking the K in there and everything. I mean, it would be, Dan's Way or something, but,
Well, and we thought
I mean,
about that
but
too. I
part
mean,
of
how do
this
you
is-
shorten it? How do you make an acronym out of that? We're always going to call it Saddle Road. it's done.
Right, or, well, anyway, but I think there's the length and what it is, but I think that the practicality is hoping that we have additional funds to get this through and honoring someone who has brought the funds, and I do tend to agree with you. Like I said, I think Dan's Way would be just fine, or something to that effect, and, or maybe ask that it be allowed for some kind of abbreviation. Okay, thanks, Carrie. Bye-bye.
Mahalo.
Thank you, Ms. Willie. Ms. Ford.
Thank you. Thank you for staying, Ryan. I know I've been sitting here going, don't leave, don't leave. For the benefit of the public, because I already talked about this last time, I'll be very brief. In the County of Hawaii Planning Department, first of all, let me say, I really want to do this, name the highway for the senator. But I do have reservations, and I understand what Ryan has told us. In the county planning department, I brought in the procedures for establishing street names, and for public roads, it's supposed to be a Hawaiian name, and exceptions can be for non-Hawaiian words of long-standing and common local usage, i.e. Saddle Road, provided there's a written history. The reason I'm bringing this up about the Hawaiian names is I have received several emails from Hawaiians who say, excuse me, that's not appropriate. And I understand their position. However, the state is the state, correct? They can do what they want, and the Department of Transportation has control over this particular state highway. So we really have no control whatsoever, and that's correct. Am I right?
I believe the end result of after the completion of the last leg of the reconstruction, the jurisdiction is going to all transfer all to the state.
To the state?
Yes.
The whole highway will be state?
I believe so. That's the understanding that's my understanding.
Okay. So, I want to do this in honor of the senator, and so I'm prepared to vote Kanalua on this situation. But at the same time, I have to, I have a lot of compassion for where the Hawaiians are coming from. It's their culture, and it's going to be disregarded from their perspective in naming this for the senator. So I am conflicted on this, but I believe I will support this with a Kanalua vote. So that's why you'll hear the vote the way I'm going to do it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Ford. Mr. Kanuha.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Myself as a Hawaiian thinks this is completely appropriate to name this road after our late Senator Daniel Inouye. He was a person that's been there for a really long time in our community. He did a lot of service to our community, not only Hawaiians, but for everybody else. So I think it's a completely appropriate use for what he did, not only to the community as a whole, but to what he gave to Hawaii Island. The east and west division of this island was really big a long time ago. Not too long ago, but with this road bringing everybody closer together, we now feel a lot whole, a lot more as one. So, and he obviously had a big part to do with it. I just wanted to say that, not saying that every Hawaiian is going to be right or wrong or whatever it is, but I being Hawaiian, I understand the naming of certain places are appropriate, but for this specific purpose of this highway, I think it's completely appropriate to name it after our senator and after basically the legacy that he left with us. I feel it a disservice to even mention the fact that we need to make it shorter, Dan's Way. It's a disrespect to his name. We feel disrespected when you say Anike Highway. It's Anike Hokalole. Don't forget, the name has power. So to say Dan's Way is a little bit disrespectful. And I know you never meant it that way, but I just want to say that, so thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Kanuha. Mr. Onishi, you still have your light on?
Thank you very much. I just wanted to make a comment that we heard earlier about, like, everybody going to be named, going to remember it as Saddle Road. I mean, that's true, but changes are sometimes, it takes time, and then some people will call it like maybe the Dan K or whatever, they'll name something. And it goes back where, for me, like I was always a supporter of UH Manoa sports programs, okay, and and before time they used to call them the Rainbows, and then just recently, within the like so many years when June Jones came in, then they named it the Warriors, right? It's UH Manoa Warriors, but then people still call them the Rainbows because that was the nickname for UH Manoa sports programs, and so it's just going to take time, but there are changes, but people still going, I guess, relate the certain teams or the road to the old names, and that's just how it goes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Onishi. Ms. Willie?
I just want to comment, and this is back to Ms. Ford, and that is that we're not changing this road from a Hawaiian name. It's not the Mauna Kea Pono Lake Highway or something. So, I mean, we're changing it from what's sort of a descriptive word, not from Hawaiian. And I do appreciate with what Councilmember Kanuha had to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Willie. Ms. Ford?
Real quick, it is called Saddle Road, and Mr. Onishi's right, Margaret's correct, and I don't remember the name. That is the quote appropriate Hawaiian name for it, and I don't know that of my own knowledge. I'm not Hawaiian, and I don't translate a lot of things very well. So, again, I'm going to be, I want to support this. I'm voting yes, but I'm going to vote as a Kanalua vote. So I just want people to understand that I'm trying to be respectful to the culture and those people in the culture who wanted to have a Hawaiian name. I want to be respectful to the senator. I'm trying the middle ground here, guys, so thank you.
Mr. Logan?
Just for a clarification, Kanalua is with reservation. For people who are new, I just wanted to let that be informed and make sure that that's clarified.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lagan. Any other comments, council members? If not, I'm going to just say a few words. I support the resolution. When I think about the late Senator Inouye, many things come to mind, and I feel compelled to say something. He's the type of leader that comes around once in a lifetime. We can talk probably for hours and hours about all the things he accomplished, for the state of Hawaii, not only by himself, but it was through his leadership. And, just so the public understands, he was a compassionate man. He was generous. His legacy was always trying to find the middle ground and being able to work with others. I think that's something that's very much needed in Congress, and in all levels of government. And so his presence will be sorely missed. But I think, we as a community, when we think back about our leaders and the legacy, that we leave behind, it's important to remember people like Senator Inouye, and naming something after him, I think, is something that reminds us of all the good that can be done, if we try. And, leadership can be, manifest itself in different ways. But I think if you really want to see leadership that I think is supposed to be done, you look at Senator Inouye's career. And I can, again, probably spend a lot of time talking about many of the positives, but I think just looking at his legacy and his leadership, I think, says it all. So I think we would do him great honor to support this resolution. Mr. Clark.
Ms. Eoff?
Aye.
Ms. Ford?
Kanalua twice.
Mr. Iligan?
Aye.
Mr. Kanuha?
Aye.
Mr. Kern?
Aye.
Mr. Onishi?
Aye.
Ms. Poindexter?
Aye.
Ms. Willie?
Aye.
Chair Yoshimoto?
Aye.
Ms. Ford?
I said Kanalua twice.
We don't have Kanalua twice anymore.
Honolulu a second time, yes. Whatever it takes to say yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Chair Yoshimoto, you have 9 ayes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clerk. So Resolution 52-13 as amended is approved. Mr. Onishi, you want to make the motion
Yes,
to?
Mr. Chair, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the 5-day holding.
Okay. There's a second by
Anyone?
Ms. Ford from the back of the gallery. Okay. Mr. Clerk, the vote.
Ms. Ia,
Aye.
Ms. Ford,
You can just, yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Iligan,
Aye.
Mr. Kanua,
Aye.
Mr. Kern,
Aye.
Mr. Onishi, Ms. Poindexter,
Aye.
Ms. Willie,
Aye.
Chair Yoshimoto.
Aye.
Chair Yoshimoto, you have 9 ayes to suspend the 5-day rule.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Next item on the agenda, page 4, 5313.